Buckle up, folks, because we're diving headfirst into a brand new phenomenon that's taking the world by storm. Indeed, we're exploring the world of animation, delving into the heart of creativity and innovation that is inherent in this medium. And at the center of it all, there's a show that has drawn the attention and in some cases the ire of millions. Yes, we're talking about the one and only Phineas and Ferb. Now, you might be wondering what makes this show so unique. Why is it capturing the minds of audiences worldwide? Well, the answer in part lies in the show's unique blend of humor, heart, and sheer audacity. It flies in the face of convention, daring to be different in a way that few other shows dare to be. However, this approach isn't without its detractors. Indeed, there have been murmurs and rumblings within the animation community. Some see the show as a breath of fresh air, a beacon of creativity in a sea of mediocrity. Others, though, view it with skepticism, questioning whether its unique approach truly adds to the medium or simply serves as a distraction. In short, Phineas and Ferb, while popular, has certainly been a polarizing force in the animation community. So this so-called new show, however, has been raising eyebrows and stirring up quite the controversy in the animation community. First things first, let's dissect the plot, or should I say, the lack thereof. We're diving into the world of Phineas and Ferb, an animated series that has captured the hearts of millions worldwide despite its seemingly thin storyline. The premise is simple. Two stepbrothers, Phineas and Ferb, who refuse to let a day of summer vacation go to waste by embarking on a new, outrageous adventure in every episode. The creativity of the duo is admirable. One day they might be constructing a roller coaster in their backyard, and the next they could be time traveling to the dinosaur era. The sheer audacity of the plot lines is a testament to the power of imagination, and yet it also raises questions about the narrative's depth. Is there a storyline? Yes and no. On the surface, it's a series of disjointed adventures with a spritz of humor and slapstick comedy thrown in for good measure. It features a recurring subplot where their pet platypus, Perry, leads a secret life as a spy, adding a layer of intrigue. But here's where the critique comes in. The constant replay of the same template, episode after episode, feels both monotonous and disappointingly unoriginal. The show seems to have a comfort zone in its formulaic approach, rarely taking risks or deviating from its established pattern. This brings us back to the question, is there really a plot to dissect? The show's repetitive nature certainly leaves much to be desired. The same formula episode after episode feels uninspired and downright lazy. Moving on to the characters, we have Phineas, a young boy with a uniquely triangular-shaped head. Phineas is a torrent of energy, his enthusiasm for life and adventure never waning, never ebbing. He's the kind of character that brings a certain vibrancy to the show. His spirit is infectious, his imagination is limitless, and his creativity seems to know no bounds. His eagerness to embrace the unknown and turn it into something extraordinary is a trait that's both admirable and endearing. Then we have Ferb, Phineas's enigmatic stepbrother. A character of few words, he is nonetheless incredibly expressive. Ferb's silence is not indicative of a lack of personality. On the contrary, his silence is a canvas on which his rich character is painted. His actions and expressions often speak louder than words ever could, adding a depth and complexity to his character that is rarely seen. The dynamics between these two characters, though amusing at times, seem insufficient to hold the weight of the entire show. Let's move on to Perry, their pet platypus. Perry is not your typical pet, for he leads a life as a secret agent. Yes, you heard it right, a secret agent. This peculiar twist is the kind of whimsical absurdity that feels both out of place and perfectly fitting in a show like this. It's as if the creators took a dartboard of random ideas and went with whatever they hit. Next, we have the animation. It's simple, it's clean, it's ordinary. You wouldn't find it out of the ordinary. It's not something is going to push the boundaries of what we've come to expect in the world of animation. There's a certain charm to its simplicity, of course, but it's far from what you might call revolutionary. It lacks the flair that the current animation industry thrives on. What it offers is a break from the norm, a respite from the increasingly complex world of animation. The simplicity of the shapes, the clean lines, the basic color palette, it all works to provide a sense of calm, a nostalgic return to the days when animation didn't need to be complicated to be good, yet can't escape the fact that it feels somewhat dated, somewhat out of sync with the spectacular works of animation that we are being treated to in our times. You see, we're living in an era where shows like Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Gravity Falls are constantly pushing the envelope, setting standards, and redefining what animation can be. These shows have elevated the art of animation to unprecedented heights, making it difficult for anything less than extraordinary to catch our attention. And in such a world, the clean and simple style of and Ferb's animation does seem like a step back. Yes, in a world where we have shows like Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Gravity Falls pushing the boundaries of animation, Phineas and Ferb's style feels like a step back. This brings me to a broader issue: modern cartoons. These days, when you turn on the television, you're more likely to see a barrage of peculiar characters, mind-boggling storylines, and audacious colors than any sort of substantial narrative. It feels like the essence of what once made cartoons so special being eroded away. Looking back, there was a time when cartoons were so much more than just a way to pass time or keep children entertained. They were masterpieces of storytelling, filled with depth and intricate character development that even some films and series today can't hold a candle to. They had story arcs that spanned multiple episodes, unraveling detailed narratives that were both charming and captivating. Think of those classic cartoons like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, or even early Disney shows. They were crafted with such care and precision that they transcended the of age and culture, appealing to both the young and the old. Each character had a distinct personality, a unique voice, and a story that unfolded with each episode, keeping viewers engaged and invested. But today's cartoons? They're often rife with slapstick humor, zany antics, and quick episodic tales that lack any real substance. There's a shift towards instant gratification and away from the complex narratives that used to define this genre of television. They lack depth and the realness that older cartoons embodied so well. A certain magic that seems to have been lost in the transition from old to new. Modern animation has prioritized visuals and quick laughs over meaningful content, forgetting that cartoons have the potential to be so much more than just entertainment. Characters have become more generic, plots more predictable, and the richness of the narrative has been largely diminished. It seems like those days of meaningful cartoons are long gone, replaced by the likes of Phineas and Ferb. In conclusion, Phineas and Ferb, the new sensation that's sweeping the globe, leaves much to be desired. This animated series, a blend of comedy and musical elements, is presently the talk of the town. But to those of us who appreciate depth and originality, it falls short expectations. The storyline is predictable, following the same routine of two ingenious stepbrothers getting involved in elaborate daily projects during their summer vacation. Every episode seems to be a carbon copy of the previous, with minor tweaks here and there. The repetitive nature of the show becomes evident too soon, and the novelty wears off. Of course, it has its moments of humor and wit, but they are dwarfed by the monotony. It fails to bring anything new or exciting to the table, barring the catchy soundtrack, which seems to the only saving grace. In an era where we're constantly seeking innovative and engaging content, it's disappointing to see such lackluster shows gaining popularity. Perhaps in a world where mediocrity is the norm, that's enough to keep the audience hooked. As we approach the end of this review, I urge you to not just tap, but thoroughly engage with that like and subscribe button. If we're going to traverse through more of these modern cartoons and dissect their content, we might as well do it together. Happy holidays and have a wonderful New Year's 2011.